For Jamal Crawford. And it's Paul in for Jordan Farmar. Portland also making some changes. Lopez, he's checked in for Kaman. Aldridge comes in for Thomas Robinson. And Wesley Matthews subbed in for Wright. DeAndre Jordan leading the NBA last season in 3 separate categories, Steve. Rebounding, slam dunks, and field goal percentage.
Yeah, those last 2 are related, of course. You look at his shot chart, and it's basically a green dot right around the basket. I mean, pretty much all of his attempts coming right at the rim, mostly on putbacks or lobs.
And there's the call on Matt Barnes. That is his first foul of the game. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Lillard with it. Chris Paul covering. A shot by Batum, no good.
And for Jordan, last season with Doc Rivers coming in as coach, his role was clearly defined, laid out in crystal clear fashion, defense and rebound. But Rivers put high expectations within that role, expecting him to contend for Defensive Player of the Year.
And Jordan playing full starters minutes for the first time in his career last season. Just about doubled his rebounds per game and was a candidate for most improved player.
And the free throws are starting to pile up a little bit here, more so than in the first quarter.
And that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
That's good from Barnes on the assist by Paul. And that's now 6 points for Barnes. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Clippers?
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And they're getting out in transition, too, finding some easy points on the fast breaks. Matt Barnes, really a good glue guy. He rebounds, defends, he's got better with his outside shot, and he can really run the lane. And he's always had a toughness and a fearlessness that I think a lot of coaches love.
And you look at advanced plus-minus measurements, Matt Barnes rates very well.
Not surprised by that, Kevin. He brings so much energy at both ends of the floor. He does a lot of those little intangible things that don't always show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, very solid offensive execution out there.
And it's Paul penetrating, and it's Jordan with the jam.
Wow, what a clever pass that time by Chris Paul.
Trailblazers trail by 7. And Lillard gets double-teamed. He dishes it to Aldridge. Griffin with the steal. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Paul, no one around him. A nice shot by Jordan. Jordan's got 6 points in the quarter.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Andre Jordan, number 1.
I know he took a lot of pride in being at the top of that list when all was said and done. I mean, just a man among boys out there.
For Portland, they've gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. And Lillard gets double-teamed. Pass to Matthews. Nobody near Lillard. Blake Griffin pulls it in.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
You know, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
Yeah, again, iffy shot selection there. Defender draped all over.
Well, you got to understand who's guarding you in that situation. I mean, if he's on you tight, you can't just rise up and try to shoot over the top.
That's how to start a fast break, and more importantly, that's how you finish it.
And it's Paul penetrating. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
Let's take a look at Wesley Matthews, some stats for him. How his season went last year. He was around 16 points a game last year, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. The points have been coming for him at a prodigious rate, and that's exactly what they depend on, his scoring ability and his drive.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he is, a driven player, Steve, someone who can take an opposing defense and just shatter it with his ability. You know, Portland has a new GM as of 2012, and you see not just changes with the team roster, which you would expect, but really an overhaul of team operations as well, new scouting tools, a new strength and training staff, and a remodeling of the practice facility.
Lillard attacking. That's good. Lillard's got 4 points in the quarter.
Beautiful job angling his body, shielding the big man from the ball on his way to the basket.
That's really the only way to do it if you're going to take it down there amongst the tall trees.
Outside, Batum. Matthews passes to Lopez. Portland moving the ball around. Matthews with it. Guarded now by Barnes. Here's Lillard, and he takes that one up and powers it through. Out of this world. Aerial skills for a guy of his size.
Kevin, that's what separates him from some of the other point guards around the league. The ability to rise and throw it down.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that spurs them on. Maybe sparks a little bit of a comeback here.
Outside for Batum. Back to Lillard. And he gets it to go. Lillard's got 14.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
And the dunk by Jordan.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage anyway. It was only with one hand, but he threw it down pretty hard.
And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. That's good. Aldridge has got his second basket.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Hall, good on the shot. And the Clippers lead by 8.
And a much better quarter for them in terms of shooting the basketball.
You know, anytime your field goal percentage as a team is up in the high 50s, you're doing a lot of stuff right.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Portland, not the biggest market, but it's a one-team city, and these fans really support their Blazers. Coach Stott said, the fan support here is special. You can't appreciate it until you see it every night. Damian Lillard said, the fans stay behind us through good or bad. When they see us in public, it's always love.
They appreciate that support, Doris. Thanks. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Chris Kaman has checked in for Portland. Blake comes in for Nicholas Batum. Trailblazers trail by 6. Lillard with it, and Crawford picks him up defensively. And Lillard gets double teamed. And Portland has possession. Aldridge kicks to Lillard. Here's Kaman. Pass to Lillard.